Hey guys, this is Rainwolf from Anime Convention Video. Today we're setting up with a few friends to talk about a certain anime release that was announced pretty recently. Before we cover it, let me introduce the others that will be joining in.
Hey guys, this is Kirito Silverheart, and I will be discussing this release with good old Vongola here.
Hello, my name is Asana Silverheart, and I'm here to discuss the new release as well.
And I am Lyria Highwind, and I am also here to discuss the new release.
So, this is going to be a fairly interesting topic because there's a number of discussions we had last night a little bit about it. The topic is the new Inuyasha release, and it's been titled, anyone can pronounce this better than I can, it's Yashamine Princess Half Demon?
That sounds about right.
Because my Japanese is terrible.
His is actually, Kirito's is better than mine, so I'll say that much.
Mine's bad too, so.
Before we go into any of the details of what the series is going to be about, what does everybody think about this?
I'm so excited.
I'm not going to lie, I don't have a large familiarity with Inuyasha. I know enough from being into like the pop culture, and I've seen a few episodes here and there. I'm not super big into it. It's just one of those ones I haven't made it to yet because I haven't been watching anime for a very, very long time. But to see, just from what we read in the article from the release announcement, the ideas that they're going for, I'm actually really interested to see this, and it's really making me want to catch up on the original series.
And I'm gonna forcibly make him watch it all. Is probably what's gonna happen. But Inuyasha was probably, other than Sailor Moon, I'd say it was one of my first like actual animes. One of the first true animes I remember watching.
Same with me.
Yeah, my sisters, and I would sit down and they were huge into it, which they were really young at the time because they're, almost 10 years younger than I am. But I remember being, I don't even remember, 12, 13 or something like that, and sitting there and watching it, and they were little and they just loved it. Like it was amazing. So yeah, I'm pretty hyped about it.
So from what we know, Inuyasha has one daughter named Minora, and Shishomaru has two half-demon twins, Towa and Sasuna. They get separated from each other at a young age. Once they are reunited, Sasuna has lost all her memory of her sister. Then the three join up for an adventure between the two eras to regain a missing past.
Now, I had read on an article that Sasuna, I believe it was, had actually been adopted by Kagome's brother. Had you read that one?
No.
I haven't read that one.
Yeah, that she actually accidentally stumbled into the mortal realm and was adopted by him and raised by him while she was looking for her sister. So I'm curious about that, if that's a legitimate thing or just something that was. I'll have to share that article with you, but it was just something I had read and I was like, huh.
Yeah, I'll post for anyone that is interested in that article. From seeing the different information that's been released, I'll just post everything we talk about if we have any sources we have in the description down below. And that is an interesting concept because normally you weren't able to pass through the well or even over to Kagome or the modern time without the shard.
Mm-hmm.
Don't we also have another major returning character's child joining the group in this series?
I haven't seen any other. The only other people I could probably think of that would have a child would be Maruku. Not Maruku. Yeah.
I was going to say, yeah, see, now that's a question. Because
there's no details on it either. Because I don't know if there was a manga release before this or not. Because this is the first I'm hearing of this title, or even just Inuyasha having a daughter, for that fact.
Yeah, this is all very new information, and I mean, there's a lot of fan theories. There's mixed stuff through the manga, like different things, because I actually researched last night a few things to just like a refresher to remember everything. But there's a lot of different mixed things on who ended up with who and what happened, and
Yeah, who the fuck is Shishomaru's wife?
Alive? Like, did he even live?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of our big questions right now is Shishomaru and any potential offsprings.
Yeah, that was a huge one too. That was like Shishomaru. As somebody put it in the comment section, they're like, "Who would screw Shishomaru?"
Yeah.
But But the big question was because like there was always that thing with Ren where they were like always raising him a wife, which always creeped me out to no end.
Yes.
I always felt like it was more of a father-daughter relationship. But then somebody else said, no, he doesn't view her as any type of love interest, nor does he view her as a daughter. He's on a journey, and Ren is the compass, is how somebody put it. I was like, I could kind of see that. But there's also that theory, he is whatever she needs at that time.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Still creepy.
Yeah, because
She's 8, was it? Was it 8
She
we
was
decided
8.
she was at the
Yeah.
beginning of the
8
series
of the
when he found her?
And then there was about a 7 to 8 years time frame from the beginning of the series to the end of it.
Yeah, so that puts her at about 15 to 16-ish
Yes.
when the series wraps.
And the thing
Which
is,
you-
age of consent in feudal Japan was 13.
Yeah, you got to
Yeah.
think about the age of consent and about how long people lived back then. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's not actually bad if you think about it.
I don't know. Like the thing is, like, well, also this is set 11 years ahead of time. So
It's 10 years from the ending of the series.
10 years. 10 years. Still.
So 25 for Ren-ish.
Maybe that sketch.
Yeah, but also with how old the children look in the images that we've received.
Yeah, that wouldn't be feasible.
Probably middle school time frame, age area, because they look fairly young, but then again, they are
Yeah.
half demons.
Mm.
Yeah, and that's another issue. I mean, you have to think of the aging of half demons, the aging of demons, and
When they were actually born.
yeah. But then there's also the wind sorceress. He's had other love,
Gosh.
quote unquote interests. Her name's escaping me.
Was it
No,
Kagura?
Kagura. She died though. Of course, she died. He was there when she died. But they always had that like undertone. She was more in love with him than he was ever in love with her.
More of the one-sided type deal.
Yeah, and then there was Princess Sarah. Do you know who I'm talking about? She ended up becoming a half demon. She was a human. It was farther into the anime, if I remember correctly. There was Princess Sarah, but she ended up becoming. But then she's the one that used to play the flute for him.
Ah,
That used to play the
okay.
music.
yes.
Yeah, but it's always been one-sided with Shishomaru.
Mm.
They've always. The bitches love him, but he doesn't
Yeah, but-
necessarily like the bitches.
The thing is, with Yashahime, it's like, what type of father would he be? But also, if he did, well, he ends up raising him, obviously, because the story jumps off with him and no information on who the wife is or who the mother is.
And he at least raises one of them. So there's been at least one of them that he's raised for a certain. Yeah, I don't think there's a question too. Is the mother
Dead.
Yeah, is she dead? Was she mortal? I mean, it's not uncommon for things like that, that could kill a mortal woman, a human. But also then Shishomaru, that kind of puts into play some of Shishomaru's resentments toward humans and things like that. And that's a whole nother ball game. But yeah, the Ren thing, that's going to be like, and they look like when you see the pictures of them, they kind of look like Ren. And it
Yeah,
creeps
because
me
one has
out.
dark
Like,
hair and one black hair, and then one has white hair, like Shishomaru.
Like Shishomaru. Didn't Inuyasha have black hair
He has black hair when he's human.
in
Yeah.
his human form?
Yes,
Yes,
you gotta
it's
remember,
black.
Shishomaru is a full demon.
If it was like a human woman, then maybe some of those recessive genes come out or something. I'm not really sure.
I'm thinking leaning is more of a mortal or a half demon that he fell in love with or banged end up having a child. Because I would think, because for Shishomi to have a child with dark hair, there had to be some type of mortal gene, because for their race, Pacific demon race, they're gonna have that white hair.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because that comes through on one of the daughters.
Imagine
source.
Jockin, like what Jockin would say. Like you hear him in your head. I don't know, Lord Shishomaru, sounds like a bad idea.
Yes. And my other thing is,
Birth
now
control should be a thing. like
the Tensaiga, how's that gonna react with the daughter of Inuyasha Kagome?
Oh, yes.
'Cause she-
Kagome had some, it's quite obvious she had I don't know how you refer to it, magical abilities or something along those lines. She was special.
Yep.
She wasn't, she wasn't just your everyday, Mary Ann walking around.
There could
Yeah,
have been
'cause she was
something.
like the reincarnation of Kikyo. Or
Yeah, and that's
Yeah,
the
she was
reason why she
Kikyo.
had those traits.
Yeah, I explained Kikyo a little bit, and like I was explaining,
Yeah.
there's some
Kikyo.
time skips, and there's some stuff, and there's a magical well, and I'm trying to run this down with them, and I was like, there's a few things here, sweetie, that I'll just give you because it gets a little deep.
Oh yeah, it does.
Basically, after about 10 minutes of talking, she was just like, you know what, we're just going to watch it. We're just going to watch it. Just...
I found this one entertaining image on Facebook. I'll post it up later and I'll share it with you. It was a little comic clip art now with the information being released that he has a daughter. It's her with the Tensaiga, and Inuyasha's flipping out.
Oh god, I imagine. He was such a pugilant child at the beginning too. Can you just imagine? He was such a pugilant. He'd just be like,
I feel sorry for Kagome.
now he's an overprotective father, and she's a pugilant child. That would be fantastic.
Oh, that'd be
half demon, half helicopter parent.
Well, okay.
Yes. Oh my God,
I did read this article though that the character bio teases that their daughter Inuyasha and Kagome says that she's been living alone since she was a young age. So,
Ooh,
yeah,
that's
I will.
interesting.
That's very
I wonder
interesting.
why though. Why would she?
Hmm.
Because I don't think Kagome would be that type of parent.
No, she would never.
And Inuyasha, even
She's
though
much
he,
more like
okay, so-
storming the castle kind of mom, but she's
Yeah.
not the type to.
So here we go, guys. According to Viz.com's article that was released, it just gives you kind of a quick breakdown of the synopsis for the series. In feudal Japan, half-demon twins Toa and Sasuna are separated from each other during a forest fire. While desperately searching for her younger sister, Toa wanders into a mysterious tunnel that sends her into present-day Japan by Kagome's brother Soda and his family. 10 years later, the tunnel that connects the two eras reopens, allowing Toa to be reunited with Sasuna, who is now a demon slayer working for Kohaku.
Huh.
Oh,
But to Toa's shock, Sasuna appears to have lost all memories of her older sister. Joined by Moroha, the daughter of Inuyasha and Kagome, the three young women travel between the two eras of modern and feudal Japan on an adventure to regain their missing past.
I'm still stumped on that Inuyasha and Kagome's daughter is by herself being raised.
well, yeah. There's a bunch of fan theories about it.
Even though Inuyasha was the way he was, and with the way Kagome and their adventures together, and then the influences Kagome had on him throughout the series, I don't see him as the type of father that would allow that type of situation.
No.
And even with Kagome as that.
I mean, there's there's concerns, of course, that they could be dead, but I think that's not feasible. That's rough.
That's a rough
That's
one.
rough, buddy. No, I
That
don't
is a
wanna see
very
that.
rough thought.
Oh, that is. Oh,
I can't do
There,
with
I mean,
that.
there's
Yeah,
a
so
possibility
here's
they
the-
can split somehow from her unwillingly. I mean, that they're
Yeah, so
they could be trying to get her, trying to
Yeah.
get back
To
to her.
go along with what Lyria was saying, here's actually a quote saying, "In fact, I'm Inuyasha and Kagome's daughter, but since I lived alone since I was little, I don't know much about my parents." So there are a number of theories being batted around right now. How long has it been since the ending of the series? Well, other articles say it's been about 10 years. Does that mean that she was separated from him not long after,
Yeah.
not like early into her childhood? Did they die shortly before the series began,
Or after birth or something.
or after birth, or something like that?
Even when that was a common thing back then for feudal Japan, but Kagome is healthy. Has the benefits of modern
Mhm.
Japan. So I wouldn't see how she would, unless some demon or a curse or something was placed.
Something separated her from them, but then she wouldn't have been alone. Like that's the thing. If someone had taken her,
Because
or
you had that
something,
whole village, and plus
Yeah.
and then you also have the wolf tribe. They,
Mhm.
Mhm.
even though him and Inuyasha really never saw eye to eye, they are very good friends. They wouldn't have allowed something.
She looks super like them too. Have you noticed that? Like her
Yeah.
gear, like the way she's dressed, is very Wolf Clan like.
Yeah.
Very much so. That's I mean, that's a lot. That's some heavy stuff there.
Because if
Yeah, I'm looking at pictures and renderings of her right now, and from what I've seen, she looks like the perfect blend between the two of them.
yes,
Oh, yeah,
oh
she
yeah.
is.
But
That's
it really stumps me though, because with that type of situation, with how many connections they formed through the feudal Japan, human, demon in the mix that they have throughout the whole world. Oh, somebody take their daughter, they're fucked.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, I mean they're not the type. Nobody's just gonna walk in and snatch their baby. Like,
Yeah, because they'll be found in a heart.
I mean, unless there's something.
Kagome
I mean,
and Inuyasha
that's
got sent to the modern world.
that's actually what I thought. Like that was the first thought I had, that somehow they were ripped from her, taken sent to the modern world, and not able to return. But then the
Oh.
theory with one of the twins living with Soda like gets a little hazy. Yeah.
Because there's no word of Kagome in the modern world, but there is word of her brother.
Yeah, that's
Oh.
the curious thing too. I mean, I guess that's going to be something, maybe like they are on this search to figure out what their past was, you know, who they are.
And her
So I guess
brother
that's
is-
part of it.
So
I am curious though, because he was even younger than Ren, right? He
no, I
would've
think they
been,
were.
like, probably 6.
I think they were rough.
Six,
No, I think they were
7, 8.
roughly about the same age.
Yeah,
Same age?
roughly. I think
Yeah.
he was a little older.
A little bit older.
Yeah.
Well, then that would be in his mid-20s for him to, unless something did horribly happen to his sister and he's mourning her, so he takes this child in, you know.
And, well, he did have a very, even though he was not able to
He's
go
very-
over there, he's had a connection with
Mm-hmm.
that side because of when Inuyasha would pop over and stuff like that.
That's always the funny thing too. I always found when Inuyasha used to come into the human world funny, because all of Kagome's friends thought he was like,
Yeah.
her juvenile delinquent boyfriend. They didn't know anything about the, you know.
Well, and also they were raised around the supernatural because of their grandfather. So
Yes.
with that, and then also the interaction with Inuyasha,
He
her
would
brother,
have a
He-
very close connection to
and
that.
he wouldn't
Yeah.
be scared or be like, oh,
No.
something's not right here. You shouldn't be here. Kind of probably thought.
Yeah. Hi, honey. I found this baby. Well, what? Just we're gonna raise it as our own. Overlook the horns, or if it, you know, catches
And it
itself
looks
on
like
fire
it's
or
the one with
anything.
the white hair, that one that they raise.
That's
Because if you
interesting.
look at the one with the dark hair, she has a spear. She's wearing Shishomaru's, or something similar to Shishomaru's sash she would wear.
So Shomuru's just gonna walk up in here looking like he's not aged. Like he's
damn-
just.
Well, I mean, he's a demon. What do you
He's-
expect?
well, I
full
mean,
blood.
obviously,
Well,
but it's
Inuyasha's
not
probably gonna be in the same boat because he's half demon. He probably
Yeah,
Yeah, so he'll look like, you know, maybe 10 years, or, you know, maybe like 2 or 3 years have passed, maybe.
yeah. And he-
Kagome is gonna be the one that's gonna be like
Old and frail. Poor
well,
Kagome.
she's not gonna be that old in her
Well,
30s.
no, not.
yeah.
But it's gonna be one of the Dragon Ball like things.
Oh,
like
gosh.
I
God.
Dragon
Well,
Balls. I just
either-
picture myself to be a couple years younger, and
Well, did-
Every year I'll revert myself 5 years.
wait, it's been so long since I watched the original.
I know that's me. I was like, I'm super hyped about this, so I've been like reading up on it. But I'll probably have to sit him down with me, and we'll just have
Oh,
to sit
yeah.
and watch. It's such a good series.
Oh, it is. It's so good.
I mean, it does have some filler and things like that, but
Yeah,
I don't think
it's
it's
that
quite
time
as filler
frame.
heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not as filler heavy as like say something like Bleach, which is like
No, they
5
they
seasons of filler. But
back
like,
then they really weren't known for filler back then. Because just getting the series dubbed to come over to the States was a headache in itself.
well, it was like it was and if I'm correct, was it the same woman who did Ranma One Half?
Yes, yes,
She
it
was the same. It was the same lady, right?
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
love it. Love everything about it. Which is another. I'd love to see that series finished. But I was talking to him about that last night too.
Ranma was amazing.
Oh
also.
my god, it's so good.
We're gonna wind it down since we're coming down close. So any final thoughts from anybody?
I just hope it's not red. It's gonna feel so sticky and weird. Like there's a
Not
part
red.
of me that ships it on a weird level if it were 30 years from now, but 11,
I just
I
still
don't
see her
know-
as
I
an
don't
8-year-old.
she's forever. And
Like,
like,
she's forever 8.
Well, that one image does kind of give me that Rim feeling, though. It's sad to say.
yeah, I know that's the thing. And then I'm like, when is he gonna have time to have daughters if he's hauling, wandering around with Ren? Go play outside while I bang this demon chick. Like, I mean,
No, he has too much class to pull something like that.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. But then, I don't know. I can't see. It's very hard to see him as a maternal figure. Even like to
Yeah.
Ren, it was very hard to see him as a maternal figure.
Yeah.
He was like grumpy dad. Like he was
That's for
like.
sure.
So I don't know. Just hopefully it's not not as bad as we think it is.
And we'll find out once we have
Nobody's on the
release date.
registry, and everybody's gonna be
There was no registry back then.
It's a demon. It's not like they could put him on there anyway. And like, I don't know. It's just creepy. But I think it's going to be really interesting. I'm excited for it, though. Interesting.
I think as far as my thoughts are concerned with the Inuyasha, I can't wait to get caught up on the series. I can't wait for this new series to come out. There's a lot of speculation, a lot of questions that I'm sure I'm going to develop my own questions once I actually get caught up on the series and prep for the new series to come out. The one thing I will say is they are following a trend of the children of the original cast. So I'm hoping that this is a situation where they don't fuck it up, because that can always go really, really well, or it can go really, really bad.
Very much so.
I think as long as there are certain aspects of connectivity to the original series, recurring characters, recurring themes, things like that, if they play it right, it should be amazing. If they don't, well, I guess time will tell.
It's a huge nostalgia draw.
All right, well, this is Kirito Silverheart signing off and logging out. Everybody enjoy your day, and can't wait to talk to you guys another time.
And this is Asuna Silverheart. I hope everybody has a great day.
And this is Lyria Highwind. Everybody have a good day.
And this is Rainwolf. I hope you all enjoyed, and we'll see you in the next podcast.